So about the beginning, let me introduce myself. My name is Chen, and a security researcher in Cisco Talos, and I'm living in Taiwan, which is a very small country. And my research area including APT, cybercrime investigations, instant response, malware analysis, and some cryptography analysis. If you want to search me, you can find me in Twitter or LinkedIn. Okay, this is my agenda today. So first, we will introduce about what is the SEO manipulations and what's their impact and their effect industry. And the second, black hat SEO campaigns we observed. We will detail different cases we observed, and that was most interesting part. Then how they operated, for example, like Dragon Rank and the UAT 8099, and include infection chain, timeline, and their motivations. And third, in this in this part, we will not only talk about the attribution, but also we'll talk about the SEO fraud ecosystems that we observed. So that will be including their ecosystem business model and their business roles. And in the end, we will provide a summary that will include case learning, mitigations, and what will be future hold. So about the introductions. So what is the black hat SEO manipulations? SEO manipulation generally referred to using a method that was violate the search engine's guideline or policy to improve the website ranking in the search engine results. So those methods may provide a short-term boosting in the ranking. We have observed the hacker groups that employ both keyword surfing or external links that will, I was a little bit jet lagged. Keyword surfing refers to the using the keywords in the web page content in attempt to boosting search engine rankings. As for the external links, though they compromise the external links of numerous IIS servers or established links farm to increase the website backlink counts. So let me have an example on this. So on the left side is the actor. And on the right side is the regular users. There are 3 IIS servers that will provide an example, and one of IIS server may host multiple external websites. That's quite normal. And the scenario is the actor will install BadIIS, a malware program that force link on the victim's IIS machine. And normal user will browse a normal website, and everything will happen normal, appearing normal. The situations often makes it difficult for IT, even website administrators, to detect that is a machine has been infected by this kind of malwares, because everything will become normal. And furthermore, if the user trying to use the double link or trying to redirect to the malicious site, it is non-possible then to use the legitimate website to generally redirect to the a malicious website from this. That is because the manipulations will only infect the search engine results. That will not directly infect the IIS machine or any websites. So if you search any keywords using a browser, then they will probably affect the browser crawler, or probably the browser crawler might be infected of this. So easily can find a scam article or some malicious promotions website. So this allows the actors successfully using black hat SEO method to increase the ranking of this scam article or malicious malicious website. So when the user going to a scan link, the BadIIS will inject a JavaScript and redirect the user to a gambling website, which is like this one. And those compromised IIS will redirect user to unauthorized advertisement or illegal gambling website. The language used on this website help us to identify the target regions or countries. While most victims are located within the same region as the compromised server, however, we observe some were affected when access the compromised servers in a different region or different countries. And the attacker employ a conversational SEO technique known as a black link to boost the website visibilities. And search engine will using blacklinks to discover additional site and assess keywords relevance. A higher number of blacklinks increase the likelihood a crawler visit a site, which can accelerate ranking improvement and extends exposure for the web page. Although the algorithm like a penguin or a spam brain have evaluated the backlink quality, but however, to exploit this, the attacker will compromise multiple IIS servers across the internet to conduct this kind of SEO fraud. Yeah, so here we come to introduce and share the cases we observed and quite interesting from two threat actors, which we named DragonRank and UAT 8099. About the DragonRank employed the black hat SEO tactics to increase their client online visibilities, and DragonRank observed different significant from the traditional black hat SEO groups, which typically compromise large number of the web server to manipulating search engines traffic. And DragonRank, however, they will more focus on other private servers belongs to the scam victims. We observed they were infiltrating their servers and maintain control over them. And they also demonstrating their expertise in lateral movement and privilege escalations. Yeah, based on their hacking technicals, we believe DragonRank most likely a hacking group that was specializing in target attack or some penetration testing, red team stuff like this. So we suspect this group may engage in both types of operations, depends on the specific objective of the operations. Yeah, and many people will ask us about this time. So why we classify this attack as a cybercrime when we saw this both TTP and APT behavior that will adapt to a lateral movement or privilege escalations. However, because from my point of view, we come up with high-value intelligence. I cannot sure the high-value intelligence for some victims industry, such as feng shui, jewelry, regionist organizations, I list above. Yeah, their target different slightly from those previous APTs, and they also targeting a significant numbers of these kind of systems. So therefore, I concluded this group goal was engaging the cybercrime activities. Yeah, and this is the overall of attack process, and the overall attack process we can divide it into 3 stages. So first, they will exploit website vulnerabilities and they will deploy web shells. And they typically target common CMS systems such as WordPress, Joomla, and other one-day website vulnerability. And this underscore their focus on industry that will appear less attractive and target attacked. So next, they will attempt to evaluate privilege on the victim machines. And besides on gaining machines permissions, they will also attempt to gain IT access to the entire intranet, and mainly for the installing like plugx backdoor and other malwares. So once the initial access complete, they will begin to spread lateral movement and search for other external systems in that intranet. And their actions are very similar. Primarily evaluate the privilege, install backdoor, and deploy the BadIIS. And third part, they were using web shell RDP to directly control those victims' machines. And why using RDP and web shells? Because they are only focused and targeting external connected web server. So they don't need to worry about too much about the tunneling program, how to using this tunneling program to control the intranet machines. Yeah. So actually in the third stage, the lateral movement stage, they are really good about it. So begin the lateral movement, and they only targeting attack the IIS server, which has a good website connections. And then when they found one of it, they will install plugx or web shell to maintain persistence, and they will use privilege escalation tools to obtain more high privilege accounts and passwords from the victim machines. And to use this kind of tool, or like use this tool to replicate an administrator account to control all the machines in the intranet. And to be honest, if they did not drop any BadIIS malware or like doing SEO fraud, they were just only targeting IIS server, we might take this attacker probably doing the motivation is APT motivations. Yeah. And here's another cases involve a tag attribution that we attribute to Dragon Rank. Our assessment indicates that exploit a vulnerability in the IIS server applications and use an automation web shell uploader to deploy the web shell. And this conclusion is based on the detection timeline, which show us of the use of automations of uploading. As you can see the web shell timeline. And once the web shell is successfully uploaded, the threat actor will processing their typical activities like conducting discovery, implementing defense evaluation technicals, and performing privilege escalations or replicate an administrator account. And finally, they will install AnyDesk, deploy plugx malware, and launch the BadIIS campaign. Yeah, and this case, the interesting part is this offers a very interesting perspective. So Dragon Rank is very clearly prioritized their maintain persistence. According to the timeline, they have already set up everything by February 6, 2025. However, some security product may have removed their malwares, just totally screw up their setting up. So as a result, the actor return back and they use a different tool to performing privilege escalations and deploy a Metaprinter as their backdoors because they already know previous malware and previous tool already been detected. Then they reinstall the BadIIS on the compromised machine and sustain long-term SEO traffic. And no additional actions will take effect replacing BadIIS to general SEO traffic. Yeah, and there's another threat group, UAT8099. Another actor we observed doing black eye SEO that we call UAT8099. And based on the Cisco file sensors and the DNS traffic analysis, we found those affected IIS server region, including like India, Thailand, Vietnam, Canada, and Brazil. And the target IIS server are owned by the organizations such as government agency, university, technology, and telecoms, etc. But their target users are not limited to those regions. In addition, they are not only operating black eye SEO, but also like operating data stealing stuff. Yeah. About the UAT8099 attack chain, we can summarize their steps into the few stages. So first, the actor will targeting specific region high-value IIS server, and then the high-value IIS server is mean that IIS server has good reputations on the internet, which can be good for the SEO manipulations. And after the actor successful uploading their web shell into the IIS server, they will do a simple discovery for the IIS server to know the basic information about this server. Then they will do a rest step such as RDP for infiltrations, SEO for setting, and deploy a Cobalt Strike for the future persistence. Yeah, those steps we will fully detail of that in the next pages. Like the second stage, their major goal is setting up the BadIIS to do the SEO fraud. When the actor using privilege escalation tools to grant a high privilege, they will run a script to faster install their BadIIS module. The interesting part is they develop a new BadIIS with a very, very low detections. Even now today, the detection is lower than 6 or 5. And in addition, in order to avoid other actor destroy their setting, they will install the IIS security tools, or we can say it's a web applications firewall WAF on that IIS server to protect the server and keep their BadIIS stand alone there to build the traffic for them. Yeah, which their main goal. So about the main BadIIS, they compile a new malwares and with a good debugging string here. So that's help us to analysis more faster than this. They will still using the user agent and referral field to determine which malicious functions to execute it. And this malicious function will not only like previous BadIIS that all mixed together. Previous IIS, the malicious function will all mix together, but this new BadIIS, they like very clearly write up every function and to do what things. So their new BadIIS function have a well structures of different functions, as you can see from the screen about the debugging strings. The function will be included like a fitting CNC HTML that will allow web crawler to catch a replace response to do SEO fraud. And the second is like a proxy functions that will use this IIS server as a proxy to redirect the connection to the other CNC server or website. And third one, they will inject JavaScript functions, which will get the malicious JavaScript from the CNC server and inject that into the user's browser to force redirect the users to malicious website. Yeah. And on the third stage, they will set up an RDP. The setup stage will evaluate the setup strategy is they will first evaluate the guest user first and create additional accounts, and then install like a Stealthy, EasyTailor, or FRP, this kind of tool to build an intranet network for RDP connections. In order to fast their setup, they will also have a script to help them set up the RDP configurations. And then when they finish setup, they will starting to infiltrations the IIS server data. We observed this actor doing these infiltrations in every period of time. So they will use the file name search tool, which is called everything, to locate high-value data. The high-value data will including like certificate files, some server configuration such as AWS, blah, 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 and lots of credential data that from everywhere. And they also extract database updated logs, but without the database file, which is maybe they are more interesting about the configuration stuff. And which led us think this is more interesting because selling credential certificate sensitive files on their probably underground market also can get benefit for them. And the last stage, the actors will worry about IT or security product, remove or reset their settings, so they will also installing a heavily encryption and obfuscations Cobalt Strike in that server. After our analysis, this heavily encryption and obfuscation part is same as this user-defined reflected loader like this article described. So this Cobalt Strike will also co-work with the script files. The script file will set up with a high privilege schedule task to run this Cobalt Strike and keep it long-term stealthy. Yeah, with those interesting cases, we can realize those actors are not only just SEO fraud cybercrime groups, they are also much more professional and organized. Although their goal is SEO fraud, with their increasingly sophisticated and advanced skills such as lateral movement, long-term access, avoid detection, and self-defense TTPs. So we assist this kind of SEO group are rising and leading the providing as a service in the underground market. Yeah, which make us interesting. So why these directors right now increasing a lot? So we're interested in them, research them. And with those cases observed, so we starting their business models and business roles in their underground market. We can roughly divide them into 3 roles, like freelance, middleman, and dealers. About the freelance, they will usually a small team with low reputations and sometimes feel like a part-time red team members. So here's the small teams. Here's the small teams that will search as a screenshot. Yeah, here's a small team trying to search for an SEO fraud job in the underground marketing. They have 9 years about the black hat SEO expertise and knowing how to do the how to compromise the AI server and uploading web shell and could do the persistence or like injecting worm, etc. With with 5 members in their team and located in Singapore. Yeah, which is quite interesting. And about the middleman part, they are likely a global team because they will have specific region SEO traffic and selling this kind of server to the buyer. And they are usually with not bad reputations and willing to buy SEO traffic and server shells from others. Yeah, like this screen. Those are 3 different users. However, when you jump in, research on them, they will point to the one directly user. Yeah, they will probably be one team, one groups. They will organize everything. And the last about the dealer, they usually will be online gaming or prom industry. They are willing to buy this kind of SEO service and the traffic services. If you're using those Chinese keywords like dominating the screen or spider pools, etc., this kind of words, you can find a lot of advertisement, and some of them are also hiring peoples. And I found their hiring position can be divided into 4 categories. So sounds like their business quality have very mature and organized. So their basic business model will be like this. The freelancer will sell to the middleman, and the middleman will sell to the dealer. Of course, freelancer can directly sell to the dealer, but dealer usually won't trust freelancers. As you know, they are very low reputations. Yeah, like Dragon Rank. They actually not very high quality of reputations. For example, like in our Talos blog post about the Dragon Rank research, they also deploy a DDoS controller and client on the website. However, the controller and client actually are different plugins installer. So they are not actually a DDoS controller and client. Yeah, they just spread them and probably sell to others. But however, if you buy it and run it, then we will be installed the plugins in your machine. Yeah. And this kind of business model, they like to use USDC, USDT to trading currency to protect each other's. So as a final buyer, they will not only they are not able to try and error every time to check the middleman and the freelancer are trusted or not. So sometimes they will buy their own team, they will build their own team to do the SEO fraud. But buying servers will much cheaper for sure. So not every buyer will do these kind of things, build their own team by themselves. And some freelancer or middleman will try to use a population form to help promotion their account reputations. The form will get deposit from freelancer, or freelancer will pay the firm to doing this. Yeah, that's like this one. So let's talk about freelancer Dragon Rank. And Dragon Rank also run its own marketing campaigns to perform keyword search ranking. We found a lot of information about them based on their plugins download URL and the command control tools. They forcibly insert their ads into various legitimate websites. And most of the information is about the black SEO. They also claim the dominant search result essentially dominate the first page of search result to display the content they want to see. So we also use the IP address with different country, different region to search their CNC tools, and we discovered that their advertisement campaign are globally. This means their target audience and marketing strategy are primarily global. Furthermore, we discovered that in additional black hat SEO, they also outsourcing bug posting to Facebook. This bug posting is very similar to the common spam or a spam campaign used by online trollers. And this is, we observed their advertisement website. It states that they offering both black hat and white hat SEO, and they cover over 200 countries. And they also provide their Telegram accounts and QQ account contact information. So anyone are interested is welcome to contact them. And we also found their TG account that was stated that they were actively conducting transactions. We also spoke with them and discovered that their service is highly customized. They can provide a service to client need and even target specific language, region, even target the audience. Yeah, they can do very customized service for you. So, about the freelancer, this kind of Asia cybercrime is not only like other region cybercrime group. They will usually don't care about the reputations. So they don't really need to build a long-term relationship with each other. They can start a new channel anytime and work with the middleman or pay the money to the very reputation firm to promoting themselves. So in this ecosystem, middleman and firm play a very important roles because they are trustworthy and good customer service, and they are able to do the marketing to the global, with the freelancers. Sorry. So here is one of the example about the middlemen. But there are a lot of middlemen like this, of course. So we highlight and extract the important information on these middlemen's pages. First, they can buy SEO traffic, and they can buy in web shows if you have one of the web shows from any of servers in any regions. And they have 6-year experience of what they're doing, and they are willing to pay, even they pay for you, they are okay with it. And they are more committed with high-value cooperations in the future. If you can provide them a SEO traffic or a web show stuff, they are willing to pay. And they have a great team, and the Telegram account, QQ account is here. You can contact them directly. So the final part is our summary. Our summary will be separated into 3 parts. The first one is what we observe from those cases. Sounds like those Chinese-speaking APT groups will doing cybercrime stuff as well, and there are no more traditional SEO crime groups. There are multiple-facing crime operation enterprises in this kind of internet. And they are more focused on globalization, advertisement, and the business, no longer a regional business right now. And the second part, in mitigations, not only aware of cybercrime tactics, but you have to aware for this kind of APT tactics because they are really good at the lateral movement, penetrations, and privilege escalations. And detect and delete those BadIIS, not just help your server, but also help others. So if you found any BadIIS on your server, please delete it. Please, it will not just only affect your environment. Actually, it not quite affect your environment a lot, but it will infect others very a lot. And if you found anything like a middleman stuff, try to block them or take down them. It will help the internet a lot because the middlemen play a very important role in this ecosystem. And what will be the future holds? More rating people probably will doing this. And I'm thinking about why we're rating people will doing this, the espionage stuff. And then I checked and I found they were talking about, okay, because doing this, there will be lightly punishment than espionage. So which is why they don't want to be forced the legal enforcement. So they probably will doing more this kind of things. And espionage, cybercrime, all the TTPs will probably mix together. So we have to identify their final goals to determine what is their really want to do. And easy SOP to build SEO for our traffic. So middlemen can buy shells and deploy by automation script more easily in the futures. here's all my talk. Thank you for listening.
Great.